FM HD4. Good evening to you. Glad to have you along on Sports Talk with Sam Jordan here on Nooga Radio. Glad to have you along. It was a big day in sports today as far as with National Signing Day, the early signing day for potential college athletes to determine on where they're going. And we will talk about that in extensive form and fashion here in the second half hour. And we will also be talking about high school and college sports here in the first half hour. So we'll want to encourage you to call in at 423-800-8949, and let's talk about what's been going on with that in particular. We'll start off in the high school realm of things. The Tyner Rams, they found themselves in a very familiar situation on Tuesday night on their home court. 4 of the Rams' 6 games this year have been decided by 4 points or less going into last night's District 6 AA battle with visiting Chattanooga Central. Well, you can make that now 5 of 7. Tyner withstood an outstanding effort by the Pounders, thanks in big part to its big man Solomon Bridgman, to hold off Central by the tune of 59-56. And yet another sign that this year's 6 AA race is going to be contested each and every night. And, of course, with high school basketball, that's usually Tuesdays and Fridays on the hard court. So Tyner winning another close one and improving their season record as well. They're now 5-2 and 4-1 in the 6 AA. The Pounders of Chattanooga Central, they go to 2-4 overall and 2-3 in their division. But they were valiant in their efforts last night. Tyner girls won 50-17 over Central. And in that game, Tyner goes to 5-2 and 4-1 overall. In the boys' game, it was almost identical records, to say the least, in that contest. All right. Moose McGarry, the head coach with the Hustling Tigers. They get a big win over the Wildcats. As Howard Tech, enjoyed that victory. They're now 6-5 overall, 2-2 in District 6 AA. Hickson falling to 0-9 overall and 0-7 in 6 AA. So Hickson's hitting hard times at a time where the season's still young. They still got an opportunity to turn things around. So with that, Hickson girls did win 50-20 over Howard Tech, but it was the boys of Howard Tech winning 64-37. So a lot of good basketball still way ahead of us here as we head into the holiday break. There's some schools that still have got a game or so left on their schedule here this week, and then they'll be off for the most part until early January. There's some that are going to be involved in high school basketball tournaments throughout the region. So, we won't be here Monday, or Christmas Day, but we will be back the following night. And we'll talk about if there are high school tournaments out there in the area where we've got a lot of our local or regional teams that are within our listening area. We'll be talking about those as well. So once again, 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call if you've got a question or a comment. Taking a look at a little bit of college ball. Number 13 ranked Dalton State lit it up from behind the arc, connecting on 14 three-pointers in a 95-91 win over Bethel, Tennessee at Crisp Arena in McKenzie, Tennessee. Earlier this week on Monday night, Roadrunners were in for a fight against Bethel, and it would go back and forth the entire first half with the teams combining for 7 ties and 11 lead changes on the evening. So, later on, Dalton State was able to pull away and move to 8-3 overall and 3-1 in the SEC. With that win, Bethel, Tennessee falls to 8-7 overall, 1-2 in the SEC with that loss. And Roadrunners will be playing Cumberland University here in Tennessee at home on Saturday, December 29th. So a week from this Saturday in the second game of the Roadrunner Holiday Classic, tip-off scheduled for 8 p.m. at Mashburn Arena. All right. Covenant men, they took care of business, defeating the host team Rhodes College over in Memphis, 120-110. Covenant improves on their season, and they go to 6-3 overall. It's the second straight game in which the Scots scored over 100 points, and the first time since February 1993 that Covenant has had consecutive 100-point scoring outbursts. It was also the 8th highest scoring game in program history as well. James Mitchell scored a career-high 27 points, going 9 for 17 from three-point land, while Berto Dryden and Caleb Haynes each scored 26 points. And Haynes added 9 rebounds. Dryden had 7 assists and 5 rebounds. And there was others that got into the scoring and assist category as well. But Rhodes, they dropped to 5-4. They were led by Owen Galvin, 17 points. Anesu Neawata had 15 and Mitch Weatherford 14. The Lynx shot 50% on the day with 10 three-pointers. Covenant will be moving on to take on their next opponent Wednesday, January 3rd at Maryville in a USA South Showdown. Tip-off set for 7:30 p.m. They are on Christmas break before they get back onto the hardwood after the holiday break. So congratulations to them. Covenant women's basketball team, well, they had a third-quarter deficit and outscored visiting Belhaven 27-14 in the final 10 minutes to gain a 76-68 victory last night inside the Barnes Physical Education Center. It's Covenant's third win in the last 4 games and moves the overall record back to 500. They go away with a 4-4 record. Belhaven remains winless at 0-10 on the year, so you hate to see that. But, sometimes you've got to cut your teeth and try to figure out what that winning formula is. As we said, Covenant evening up their record overall at 4-4. They'll be off for 10 days for Christmas before playing again next Friday. That's December 29th against Center as part of the Sewanee Holiday Classic with an 8 p.m. start in Sewanee, Tennessee. So a lot of action going on in the high school and college ranks as far as with basketball action. So getting you up to date on that. All right. Well, I thought I would wait until the next segment in the next hour, but we'll slide on over to talking about the Mocs, the Chattanooga, Tennessee Mocs. They are winding down their non-conference schedule, and they've got 2 quick contests that they've got with a brief holiday break. Thursday afternoon, they're at Jacksonville State before returning to the friendly confines of McKenzie Arena, hosting Georgia State on Saturday. The Mocs are 5-6, looking for their first road win while continuing a strong run on their home floor. And it will be the second game of the season against Jacksonville State. So with that, they're hoping to have a better rapport and come away with the victory. Instead, the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State won in overtime 77-75. That's just how well the Mocs have been playing. Now, they have that 5-6 record, but they really should have had 3 wins out of those losses added to that record that they've got. They've lost some really close games, and, the coach really feels like he's got a good chemistry with his players that are out there on the court for him. And McKindy London really doing a good job in part during the month of December. He's only a junior forward and is averaging a double-double so far with 16.3 points, 10 boards, and 3 assists in the 4 contests with wins over UT Martin and Charlotte and losses at Marshall and Tennessee Tech. And, that's just some of the athletes that have been contributing in the success that we've seen here with UTC. where they are the youngest team in NCAA Division I basketball in the entire country. And so for the Mocs to be doing as well as they are, that is pretty amazing. But UTC is going to be in action tomorrow at Matthews Coliseum in Jacksonville, Alabama, with Jacksonville State, who's 9-3 overall. So, Chattanooga can hang with some good teams there, and they will really need to get their game going in that contest. Saturday, as we said, Christmas Eve, they will be at home at McKenzie Arena with Georgia State, and that'll be a 1 o'clock tip for that contest. All right, women's basketball team in action tonight with women's basketball there, and we'll talk about them here in just a moment. Pre-holiday schedule, wrapping up with those two big games for the men's team. The women Mocs team, phase 2 in the Gator Holiday Classic. But today, the women, 65-60 winners over Florida in the Gator Holiday Classic. They had a third quarter comeback to take down the 4th Power 5 conference school this year, defeating Florida at Exact Tech Arena. They go to 8-4, the ladies do, and the Gators fall to 6-5. Ariana Gilbert posted her first career double-double with a team-high 20 points, 12 rebounds, and was 7 of 16 from the field, 4 of 4 at the charity stride. Sophomore Ariane Whitaker also recorded her first double-double with the Mocs scoring a season-high 10 points and grabbing 10 rebounds. She was 5 of 8 and had 5 offensive rebounds in 34 minutes. So she had a pretty good day. Senior Kiana Gilbert had 16 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, while Lakeland Bolden, a sophomore, was the 4th UTC player with double-digit points, scoring 14 on 2 of 5 shooting from the three-point arc. Chattanooga's narrow 13-11 advantage at the end of the first quarter was quickly erased by halftime. Florida outscored the Mocs 25-13 in the second quarter to take a 10-point lead into intermission, 36-26. But Ariana Gilbert started off the third quarter with the first of her 2 3-pointers. Second long ranger at the 8:15 mark of the frame, sparking a 24-7 Chattanooga run over the next 10 minutes or so. Capped off by Gilbert, giving UTC a 55-48 lead with 8:04 to play in the contest. She had 11 of the Mocs points in that onslaught victory. All right. Florida would retake the lead with a 9-0 run over the next 3:13 to lead 57-55. It would be all Chattanooga for the final 3 minutes. And so the Mocs had defeated Indiana and Northwestern, the Big Ten, and Auburn of the SEC earlier this season. So this is a major victory for the Lady Mocs program, beating one of the Power 5 conferences opponents that they've faced here this season so far, and taking down Florida by a score of 65-60. Now, the Lady Mocs, they'll take on Princeton in the final game of the Gator Holiday Classic Thursday afternoon with a 2:30 p.m. tip-off, and that will take place at that Gator Holiday Classic down in Gainesville. So you can go to gomox.com and be able to listen to the broadcast if you'd like, with Larry Ward on the call. And, we wish the Lady Mocs the best of success in that contest. So, the one consistent, with Ariane Whitaker, Bria Dial, Kiana Gilbert, Lakeland Bolden, and Ariana Gilbert, seem like they're the main 5 that are really doing well. That 4-guard set that they have for the Lady Mocs, and then with Whitaker at the post position, really gelling well together. And like we said, the Lady Mocs now at 8-4 on the season, and we're just really getting into the season, as we know it, where the bulk of the schedule will be kicking in here after the 1st of the year. So congratulations to the Lady Mocs, and good luck to them tomorrow in their endeavors. So 423-800-8949 is the number to call with your questions or comments here on Nooga Radio with Sports Talk with Sam Jordan here. Call us up at 423-800-8949. Operators are standing by, and let's talk sports. You got some balls you want to talk about? You know, whether it's football, basketball, soccer, baseball, softball, you name it. You can call us up and let's talk about it here on Nooga Radio. All right. You know, the Mocs, we got them pretty well set, talking about how well they've been doing it with the round ball. Now, how well is the Mocs football program doing? And that is going to be one of the questions. They did not have a lot of signings today in the early national signing day that took place around the country. And, you know, Georgia seemed like they probably had the best signing day class that they've had in quite some time. Some outlets are saying that Georgia may have the top recruiting class in the country, the entire country. And Kirby Smart, you know, really doing an outstanding job in finding those outstanding athletes. But UTC was able to pull away with a couple of signings today, and we will be talking about that. But UT miraculously was able to come away with some signings as well. They were wanting to toot their horn, and they deservedly so. And, you know, the Mocs football program is used to being very successful, and they've won championships and really caused a lot of headaches in the Southern Conference over the years. And, you know, they're looking to get back onto that track here very, very soon. But, you know, out of the top 100, Georgia was able to get 20 of the top recruits in the country today. And 11 of those were ESPN 300 commits. And they had 9 others that they were looking at, and a couple others that were interested, some that were made offers to. And we'll break it down a lot more in detail as we go along through the show. But I'm trying to find my sheet here with what UTC was able to do, and I may be able to talk about that here coming up after the break here when we get you updated with all the latest news and information that you need to stay informed with. So don't forget, you can always call in at 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. And, you know, this was like an early Christmas for a lot of schools out there around the country. And they are looking at trying to make some decidedly great additions to their core players as they head into the future. Jeremy Pruitt, the new coach at Tennessee, trying to make some big splashes. I would not want to be in that gentleman's position right now. He's still working with his old team, the Alabama Crimson Tide, as they're getting ready for their bowl appearance coming up here January 1st or 2nd. I forget what it is. I think it's the 1st, and then on the 8th is when the national championship game will take place. So, you know, it's not going to be an easy time for Coach Pruitt as he's making those preparations to get his new employer, the University of Tennessee, happy with getting a lot of new recruits. But I think after today's early signing announcements that went on across the country, you know, it's really great to see that Tennessee was able to come away with some good quality recruits. Now, they did lose a big recruit in Cade Mays last month, just prior to Butch Jones being let go at Tennessee. And we'll tell you about where Cade Mays, the Knoxville Catholic standout, is going in 2018. When we come back, you're listening to the Sports Talk with Sam Jordan on Nooga Radio 92.7, 95.3 FM HD4.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM. 3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news. Now,
a house fire broke out on Ocoee Street at a home that was not occupied, had the electricity turned off, and had been sold about a week earlier. Firefighters putting out that blaze and evacuating 2 homes next to it because of heat damage to those 2 adjacent homes. The Chattanooga Fire Department investigating. New testimony in the Woodmore bus crash case against Jonathan Walker, who's accused of killing 6 students in a bus crash and injuring many more. Prosecutors say there is proof to indicate Mr. Walker received a phone call right before the crash occurred at 3:17 p.m. November the 21st, 2016. That call lasting 3 minutes and 51 seconds. The bus crash happening a short time later. The closure of East Brainerd Road at Banks Road begins today and lasts until Friday for waterline installation. Detours will be posted. They'll route traffic down Morris Hill Road and Igo Gap to Banks. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News, now.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
It's the perfect gift for her. The most affordable price in town. Goss Jewelers on Gun Barrel behind Chili's. You're not sure what to get her for Christmas? The friendly staff at Goss Jewelers will be glad to help you make this Christmas the best one for her ever. Independently owned and operated by Charlie Goss. How about this to make her glow? Gold hoop earrings, white gold, yellow gold, rose, just the thing. Diamond stud earrings. If she doesn't have them, she wants them. Last minute request, Charlie can make that custom colored diamond pendant in a snap. Goss Company Jewelers, craftsmen of fine jewelry. Come now. 296-9331. 296-9331. 296-9331. Don't have her disappointed for Christmas. Come on. Act now. Goss Company Jewelers, craftsmen of fine jewelry. Time is running out. Christmas is here. Hurry. Goss Jewelers on Gun Barrel behind Chili's. 296-9331. 296-9331. 296-9331. Goss Company Jewelers, craftsmen of fine jewelry.
Merry Christmas. Expect lots of clouds, but drier weather out there through your nighttime. Overnight lows into the mid and upper 40s. Now for your Thursday, mostly cloudy, not bad. Highs into the upper 50s, 60 to 62 on Friday, with rain returning late Friday through the first half of Saturday. For the largest selection of fireworks, check out Exit 180 Fireworks, a Black Cat dealer with great prices. Pop a rocket, not your pocket with Exit 180 Fireworks. Open daily off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Sourcine 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
An automated nuclear missile defense system has suddenly entered into launch mode, and you are the only one who can stop it. Escape Experience Chattanooga. Your team has just been infected with a deadly virus. Your only hope? There, in an abandoned farmhouse. Escape Experience Chattanooga. Handcuffed in a maximum security prison, you have an hour to flee. Escape Experience Chattanooga. These escape scenarios and more at Chattanooga's best escape room game and team building platform. Call now. Slots are limited. Register online at escapeexperience.com/Chattanooga. Escape Experience Chattanooga.
Cash, 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 and more cash. Hey, where do you think Santa shops? Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. He made a special stop to tell Rick, slash those prices. Ooh, ho, ho. That's right. Right now for Christmas at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Even Rick's not going to say no to Santa. No, no, no. Don't wait till after Christmas. It'll be way too late. Get your cash, cash, cash right now for your gold, your silver, your diamonds, and jewelry. Has Rick gone mad?
Well, maybe a little.
No, we think he's just Christmassy.
Christmassy.
Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, Brainerd Road, Chattanooga. You know where it is. Hey, is that Santa? Ooh, ho, ho. Even Rick's not going to say no to Santa. No, no, no. Get your cash, cash, cash right now.
Goss Insurance. Yes, we are local, and
And no, we don't have an 800 number. In fact, our mobile numbers are on our business cards. We live, work, play, and worship in Chattanooga, and we would love to help with your insurance. Business, auto, home, life insurance. Call now, save money. Call Goss Insurance for all your insurance needs. Goss Insurance, 875-2500. 875-2500.
Broadcasting live to over 1 million souls in Chattanooga, the Tennessee Valley, and beyond on frequency modulation 92.7. Sean Hannity, 25,000 watts on digital FM 95.3 HD4. CBS Radio News, NASCAR, Bloomberg Markets, David Tulis, streaming strong at NoogaRadio.com. Live on YouTube and Facebook. Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7. Chattanooga Radio.
Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. We're on the air. We're also on YouTube, and I'm trying to get Facebook Live to get going here. So I know I may have it now, finally. So let's see. I think we may have made it on to Facebook Live finally. So if you've missed out here during the first segment, I'm sorry, but just wasn't getting the good connection that I was needing. Well, the National Early Signing Day took place today all across the country. And Tennessee, with new coach Jeremy Pruitt, was able to land 5 3-star prospects in the early signing period. A California quarterback, 2 in-state offensive linemen in part of Pruitt's first class. Ollie Lane, offensive lineman out of Corryton, Tennessee. He's ranked as the number 33rd offensive guard in the country and number 29 in state ranking. Went to Gibbs High School, and he was invited to play in the 2017 Toyota East-West Tennessee All-Star Classic. He's also a 5A All-Star football team member, Region 2 5A Offensive Lineman of the Year in 2016 and 2017. And he anchored a Gibbs offensive line that finished 8-4, losing in the second round of the 5A playoffs in 2016. Paxton Brooks out of punter. And when I mention his stats here, he's 6'5", 170 pounds. That is tall for a punter. He's out of West Columbia, South Carolina. 3-star athlete. He state ranking number 2 in the Coles professional camps. Number 15 in South Carolina. He went to Airport High School, still does, I'm assuming. And he's ranked as the number 2 punter in the 2018 class of all punters across the country. Various awards and outstanding kicker, punter. So he averaged 41.8 yards per punt, hit 8 of 10 field goals, including a 51-yarder against North Augusta. It's 45 for 48 on extra points in 2016. Tanner Antonati out of Nashville. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. And, boy, it just seems like the offensive line and even some of our special teams players really have grew up like a sprout. I mean, just really big. 6'5", 260 pounds. He's a 3-star athlete, ranked 23rd in the state of Tennessee. Goes to Ensworth School, which does play some of our area schools. And he played tight end, but made the switch to offensive tackle during this past season, allowing less than 5 sacks in games at offensive tackle. He made 8 catches in 2016 for 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and anchored offensive front that produced 345.1 yards and 27.3 points per game. Between 2014 and 2016, he had 13 receptions for 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, also registering 36 tackles, 14 for a loss, with 8 sacks, 8 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and a recovery. So with that height, I can see that. JT Shroud out of Newhall, California. He's a quarterback, 6'3", 190. He's a three-star athlete, ranked number 72 in California in the pro-style QB category. Hart High School. They went to an 8-4 record in the Southern Section Division III quarterfinals as a senior. His lone season as the team's starting quarterback, compiling 211 of 414 passes for 3,064 yards, 27 TDs, rushing for 262 yards and 4 TDs. Kingston Harris out of Orlando, Florida, defensive lineman, 6'4", 272 pounds. He's a three-star athlete, and state ranking in Florida is 176. That's not bad for as big as Florida is. And he had spent his first 2 seasons at Orlando Christian Prep before transferring over to IMG. So he's going to be making his way to Knoxville. So, with Tennessee, all of their eligible players that they were looking at bringing aboard, Tanner Antonucci, offensive lineman out of Nashville, Tennessee, Jeremy Banks, running back out of Cordova, Tennessee, Paxton Brooks, a punter, a very tall punter, I'm telling you, Jerome Carvin, offensive lineman, he's a 4-star athlete, Greg Emerson, another 4-star defensive end out of Jackson, Tennessee, out of Northside. Kingston Harris, as we mentioned, out of Orlando, Florida. Defensive lineman, Ollie Lane, 3-star out of Coreyton, Tennessee. Brant Lawless. Lawless is out of Nashville, Tennessee, a defensive lineman. JT Shroud, quarterback. And let's see here. Jacob Warren, a tight end out of Knoxville, Farragut, becoming a part of the new crew at Tennessee, and Coach Jeremy Pruitt. The Prue crew. There we go. That's what we can call them. They're the newest members of the Vols family. So congratulations on Tennessee making some high-profile signings today. We kind of alluded to before the break, about Cade Mays out of Knoxville Catholic. Had been a commitment for Tennessee for quite some time, and all of a sudden he decommitted about a month before the demise of Butch Jones in Knoxville. And Cade Mays made his choice known. He went to the podium at Knoxville Catholic High School, had a suit on, and he opened up the buttons of his shirt and revealed that he is going to become a Georgia Bulldog, for at least intended for the next 4 years. So he's a 5-star class of 2018, heading to Athens, announced his commitment to Georgia earlier today. And literally, it is a big signing for them. That is going to be a major impact on that program. And I'm sure that Kirby Smart has got to be quite pleased, because when Cade Mays' name became available to talk about as far as the possibility of adding it to the team, he probably never thought that he had that opportunity to bring such a quality player into the program. So Cade Mays, now a Georgia Bulldog. So congratulations to him. I'm sure that his family and friends up in Knoxville got to be quite happy. Mays is 6'6", 318 pounds. And, by the time that he gets going in the regimen of their strength and conditioning program, every college is like that. Even on the small scale of Lee and Covenant and UTC and others, they make sure that you get that upper body strength and, leg strength. It's one thing I've always told my athletes that have performed for me, whether it be basketball, wrestling, baseball. Get the upper body strength. It will take you a long ways. And then after you have got that upper body stamina that you need, let's work on the legs, especially if you're running, like with basketball, baseball, and as such. You need to have that speed. But the upper body, first and foremost. And so, it's good to see that, he will probably bulk up quite a bit. I would say he would probably be pushing 340, 350 by the time he gets done with the Georgia strength and conditioning. But he's the number 2 offensive tackle in the country, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, just behind Jackson Carman, who committed earlier in the day to Clemson. Clemson had a pretty good day today as well in the signings. But, it was kind of a disastrous blow for the UT program when he decommitted. And now it's really a slap in the face, to see him going to Georgia. And, they've basically 2 years in a row that the Dogs have signed a 5-star tackle. They got Isaiah Wilson out of New York in the class of 2017. And earlier today, Wednesday, they got 2018's best offensive guard in Jamari Sawyer. So Kirby Smart really taking care of business down there. All right. UTC, they had their signings going on today. I had said 2, and I was incorrect on that. They actually had quite a few others. Niven Nelson, a linebacker out of Cartersville, Georgia. He's being joined by teammate in TJ Horton, a wide receiver out of Cartersville High School. Let's see here. Logan Pitts, a tight end out of Trussville, Alabama, is coming, along with a teammate in Simon Muskelly, a linebacker out of Trussville. Let's see here. Maryville, Tennessee is being represented by Isaiah Cobb, a running back. Dylan Cole out of Dalton, Georgia, is coming aboard. Out of Marietta, Georgia, Josiah Futrell out of Kell High School down there. And then not too far away, LJ, Georgia, with Gilmer High School, Chris James, a quarterback, being signed, a 6'3", 215-pound quarterback. Now let's get to the local talent that was signed up. Signal Mountain's Harrison Moon, an offensive lineman, 6'5", 290, is going to be a mock. And after that, you've got Boyd Buchanan with a representation on with Cole Hinkey, defensive back, 6'2", 195. And then Bradley Central's Lamerick Tucker, wide receiver, 5'11", 170, making that signing official by becoming a mock earlier with this early signing day. Also out of UTC, Cole Strange was named to the 2017 Phil Steele FCS first-team freshman All-American list. He is out of Knoxville, Tennessee, entered the starting lineup at left guard against Mercer and stayed there for the final 5 games. Mocs had some of their best offensive performances in the year in the last 5 games, including a number 8 upset of Samford, 23-21. That was at Samford. Strange solidified his position at left guard after playing the first part of the season just on special teams, and I'm sure that the coaching staff says, I'm glad we made that change. But some of the things to talk about here with National Signing Day, Georgia is right on the heels of Ohio State for having the number 1 recruiting class. There's still a lot of big announcements going to take place here between now and 8:30 tonight. Clemson stole Ohio's number 1 recruit from Ohio State, and the day's biggest flip happened with quarterback Emory Jones, who was committed with Ohio State, and now he's going to be a Florida Gator. So I'm sure that Urban Meyer not too happy with that development that happened. Texas looks like it's going to be a defensive-minded program They've, according to sources, they've got the best class of defensive backs ever. But there was a lot of commitments, flips, and surprises here and there. Let's take a look at the SEC first off. The SEC, Alabama was able to get a 5-star defensive end in Abi Anoma and a 4-star defensive tackle in Christian Barmore. Florida was able to get, as we said, Jones and also 4-star safety in Trey Dean. Georgia, well, they got 4 big names. 5-star defensive end Brenton Cox, 5-star offensive tackle Cade Mays from up in Knoxville, 5-star offensive guard Jamari Salyer, and 4-star cornerback Devad Wilson. Kentucky was able to get 3-star wide receiver Bryce Oliver, Mississippi State 4-star wide receiver Devonta Jason. Ole Miss, they were quite busy. 3-star defensive tackle Jalen Cunningham, 3-star linebacker Vernon Dasher, 4-star wide receiver Elijah Moore, who had originally been a Bulldog commitment, and he flipped and went with Ole Miss. 3-star defensive end James Williams flipped from Mississippi State to the Rebels program. South Carolina had 3-star linebacker Rosendo Lewis flipping from Florida State and accidentally announcing to USF along the way. That had to be a little salt to the wound. And we said, with Tennessee's 3 recruits, offensive tackle Jerome Carvin, 4-star athlete, 2 3-star athletes and running back Jeremy Banks, and 3-star quarterback JT Shrout, who had been a California Bear commitment. He flipped and became a Tennessee Vol. Vanderbilt was able to get defensive end 3-star athlete Elijah McAllister to make the commitment to the Commodores of Vanderbilt. Now, what's going to be interesting here, Mike Norvell over at Memphis got 3-star quarterback Brady McBride. Just trying to find a few others that are within the area that were making that commitment or with their signing today. But the one thing that was interesting, Georgia trying to, do some pickings in Tennessee, but they still got quite a few commitments from throughout the state of Georgia. Just a lot of good athletes coming out of the state of Georgia. And, of course, we've got good athletes that are here, in Tennessee as well. So one thing that was kind of interesting, 3-star defensive end Stacy Kirby had committed to University of Central Florida, but he flipped and is now going to be at University of South Florida, which I think is a Bull, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm sure Keon will tackle a lot of this and give his input on the situation. But right now, number 5 cornerback Patrick Surtain Jr. remains uncommitted. He's talking about making his commitment in February with the actual national signing day. Defensive end KJ Henry was uncommitted, but it was supposed to make an announcement at 4 o'clock. Number 11, top recruit and Terrace Marshall, wide receiver, is uncommitted. He will make his announcement Friday around 3:30. Number 12, wide receiver Amon St. Brown is uncommitted altogether. Number 17, offensive tackle Nicholas Pettit-Ferre is uncommitted. Those are just some of the commitments there, and there's quite a few others, a lot of which that are making commitments in February. So not taking advantage of getting that out of the way before they can really concentrate on their finals in the second half of their final high school year. Quarterback Justin Rogers, ranked number 34 out of 100 in the country, is a TCU commit. He's going to be making a signing official Friday at 4 o'clock. Safety Jaden Woodbay, number 27 in the country, is an Ohio State commit, but he is making his announcement tonight at 8:30. So those are a few others that are out there. And then, like we said, some are just kind of waiting until after the first of the year to make those choices known. But it's kind of interesting to also know Baylor School's Brendan Harris, 6'1", 205-pound safety, signing with Vanderbilt. So one of our local homegrown products that is going to be continuing in a D1 program, even though it is Vanderbilt. I hate picking on Vanderbilt. I mean, Vanderbilt is a great school. Their athletics may not be the greatest, but, you know, they compete up there in the big boy division. They really put on the big boy panties to make sure that they are able to find those great student athletes. But, you know, people right now are picking Georgia to upset Ohio State as having the best class of recruits for 2018. Texas coming in third, and they really did well with a lot of defensive back signings. Penn State's ranked number 4, Alabama 5th, Miami at 6, Notre Dame at 7, Oklahoma at 8, Auburn at 9, and Clemson coming in at 10 as far as with the top 10 classes of recruits going into today. So, you know, it was an exciting day for a lot of athletes. I know I had some friends up in the Northeast that basically were signing in other sports, and it was a huge day for them. And, you know, it doesn't matter what the sports team is. When you're able to commit to continue on your playing career and your academic career, it's always good to see that happen. Keon Rose and the Clutch is coming up here after the CBS World News Roundup. I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Have a great one. So long.
The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4, and